What is up, my creators, writers, intuitives, coaches? Welcome to your session. This is going to be a timeless session, so I trust that if the universe brought you to this video, then it is doing its magic. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's jump right on into the story. So our first card coming out, we have the Flow card. Now, the Flow card came out with the Wheel's Fortune, which says luck and right timing at the bottom. So now I like this Flow card because for me this is almost very energetic, almost like a very energetic experience. With a luck and right timing card, it's almost talking about going with the flow. You know how we get the impulse or the surge or almost even the intuition to do something. So with the luck and right timing card, this is almost saying that it can't be missed, but don't miss it. So it's almost like there is an opportunity or there is something coming up where it's almost like you have to slip through the door or slip through the crack at the right time. Or it's almost like once this doorway becomes open, maybe it's like a quantum jumping point or quantum leaping point. We'll see as we get through the rest of the cards, but it's almost as this doorway becomes open, it's almost like you have to take that jump or take that leap, so you can make it through, or it's almost like it's requiring action on your part in a sense. So yes, go with the flow, but once you know that opportunity or doorway is opening for you, don't hesitate. So let's see, what is this talking about? Was my main question. Okay, what is the idea or what is the opportunity? So it really wasn't much there in the next two cards, but we have the Emperor and the Cerebral Realm. So starting out with the Emperor card. Now this is a Seahorse card. And in this Seahorse card, there's also almost many other seahorses or many other basically faculties in this card or in this image. The Emperor talks about work in a sense of foundation, but this card always brings in the idea of community or something coming together in many pieces, or this is basically many pieces of the puzzle that then becomes one thing or is one full collaboration. Like you need many employees to run one job or to make something fluid, or to have something be able to flow or to have flow. All the aspects, all of the compartments, departments needs to be in check. And all of these little, it's almost like a hive, like a beehive. Like all of the bees work together to support the queen, which then essentially supports them as well. So it's almost like a group collaboration, even if this has to do with the just yourself. And then the next card was a Cerebral Realm. So when we were thinking about the idea, like, okay, what is the luck and right timing? Where are we going with this? What do we have to be in time for, or what do we have to make it in time for? It was, at least what the images are pointing out, is the Cerebral Realm. So it's almost like going into this cerebral realm or going into the mental realm. I even see this as the subconscious mind, especially with the Flow card. I almost see this as like the subconscious mind in a sense. But let's move forward. It was really giving me an idea of an energetic, say, activation, especially because we have these two cards along with this card that'll be coming in the extended. So if you resonate, that'll be the first link in the description. But this pretty much watery energy. Now my King of Water at the end really talks about almost this activation energy, or this like activator energy, this fertilizer, or it just gets things going, it gets things moving. But it still wanted to highlight the Cerebral Realm. We have the Three of Fire coming out next. So you see all of this fiery energy. It's almost like all of these brain synapses. Under this card it says creativity, it says intellect, and then it says genius. So you can be a Gemini, you can be an air sign in a sense. Sorry, it's really talking about the idea of being really activated. Like this energy now wants to move. It's almost like she's sitting on top of this rock, but she's imbued with energy, or she's almost like feeling the energy start to move, or the energy is starting to pick up. It's almost like something is being triggered, or something is happening in the cerebral realm, or the mental space, or the subconscious realm, that is triggering this three of fire to be. It's almost like she's really invigorated with fire. So if this is an air sign, that fire of course amplifies the air, that air and fire combination, or the air and fire mixture. It just wants to be maybe expressed. The next card we have coming out is the Empress card. So I like this card because the first thing that I notice is she's holding her brain, or she's holding her, the back of her head in a sense. And then it's also pointing out these crowns, which for me talks about almost like the crown space, or the mental space, the crown chakra, the mind, especially with this blue in the background. And then the first card we have coming out was this indigo blue type card, which again was reminding me of the crown space, or even the subconscious mind. I see that all tied into the same thing, or the same realm, like the subconscious mind. So she's really pointing out this like this, I want to say it's almost like this cerebral type, almost like linking or intertwining, mingling two sides, or both sides of the brain, both hemispheres of the brain. So it's almost like you're going to be supercharged, or you're going to be like overpowered. Maybe this is what this fiery brain energy is. It's almost like very supercharged. It's just a lot of activity. We can even pull up this Emperor card with all of this orange, including this orange that wraps around here. It's almost like the same orange that wraps around our three of fire. But all of this energy is almost very much supercharged. Like there's a lot of activity. Imagine this is the brain, or the subconscious mind. It's like it's a lot of activity, almost like bouncing off the walls, or just moving really fast. I also see this as like a speedway or a highway. So it's like they're just jumping on and just shooting around and bouncing around. And it's almost like it really wants to be expressed, or something wants to be done with it. So at the end of the row, it's cool because the last card we have here is this Seahorse card. So it's just saying watch and wait, which brings me back to this, the first two cards where we was talking about flow and going with the flow and like the right timing. So it is saying watch and wait now, but it's almost saying like watch and wait for the right opportunity, or the right moment. Like you'll know when it's the right moment, or you'll know when it's time to take action, basically. But maybe for now, watch and wait, or watch until you get that cue. So luck and right timing. This door is about to open, so it's almost wanting to highlight like wait for that cue, or wait for that moment. This is also cool because as we see, this seahorse ends the row here, but there's also a seahorse here. So it's almost like they're almost here looking at each other from both ends, or they're almost expectant of each other. Maybe these two seahorses are almost going to be meeting or merging, which was giving me the idea of the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Like maybe they're going to be merging, or maybe they're going to be almost coming together, or maybe this is going to be added. It also looks like an explosion of manifestation, because we know with the seahorse, when a seahorse gives birth or has, babies, it's very much an explosive thing. The babies almost explode out, and it's almost a scene, or it's an event. It's like an event that happens. Very dynamic. It grabs a lot of attention. It's almost like the most gently, calmly explosive thing. Okay, so into the second row, the first card we have is a tidy house. I like this card because it starts out with the number 1, and it is the first card starting this row. So with the tidy house, this card says clarity and organization. And for me, this looks like an attic here. So it really talks about, I want to say the subconscious mind, because the attic, or kind of like going up to the top of the stairs, for me symbolizes in the house, almost like the crown chakra, or the top of, the brain, the top of where our energy expresses. And then along with this, The next card was the Atoms card. So it was really giving me that idea of the attic because both of the cards starts with AT. So a tidy house and atoms reminded me of attic. And then this talks about really kind of like diving in and going under the surface. So you may actually be exploring into the attic or going into the attic and finding lost things. But for me, it's very symbolic. It's more talking about the idea of the subconscious mind and diving into the, unseen layers of reality of life. This card says microscopic fractals in the quantum realm. So it's almost really diving into what's already there, but it can't be seen, or it's unseen. It really wants to highlight that aspect. Next up, we have the Two of Air. So same thing, this Two of Air for me talks about kind of like going deep, deep down into a microscope. It's almost like they put a flower or they put something on a sample and they put it under a microscope. So this is what they're getting back, or this is what they're seeing. They get to see up close. And this is almost like the actual atoms looking back, or the actual atoms in that like quantum realm, or in that same but separate realm. So they're almost perceivable. And I want to say what this is talking about is the idea of the cerebral realm, the brain, the mind, inside the mind, being things being unseen but brought to the surface. So looking under that microscope, the idea or the message that was coming back or playing back was this rabbit spirit, and the rabbit spirit says now is a lucky time, which highlights the Wheel's Fortune, which says luck and right timing. So it's really highlighting almost like an aspect of it can't be missed, but don't miss it. Maybe if it's missed, it'll come back around, but maybe it'll take a while for it to come back around. So it's almost saying now is a lucky time. Luck and right timing is now. So the last two that we have before we hop into the extended is the Middle World and the Sky Bridge, which says possibility for union. And again, this is talking to me about both sides of the brain, or both hemispheres, the left and right hemisphere, wanting to almost travel this path together now, or merge together now, or be in sync, be cohesive together, be unified, or it wants to work together or merge together to create. Now here we have a middle world. So for me, this talks about like reality. This is what's happening now. So it's almost like these left and right hemispheres of the brain is what creates the middle world, or what creates reality, despite what you are vibrating or what you are putting out. Maybe that's why it says luck and right timing. Like you got to hit the nail on the head. Otherwise it's gonna it's gonna automatically be something, or it's gonna be at a default setting if you don't. It's almost like with this flow card, it's looking like intention for me. It's almost like if you don't incorporate intention, or if you don't hit it like the nail on the head, or the luck at the right time, it's almost like you can't miss it, but don't be late. You can't miss it, but sometimes action is required by ourselves too. So it's almost like this middle world is saying, okay, for these to come together, which of course is looking like, I can say both. I can say it's this here. It's almost like once this wants to move out the way, it's almost like this is the timing. Once this moves, or once this goes, see the light wants to appear from the background or behind. So it's almost like this will be completely open. Maybe even it's almost like direct access to the subconscious mind. So you'll be able to create massive change and fast change. It's almost like this is a placeholder on the subconscious mind, and it's almost like you are going into the attic of your subconscious mind, or going into the roots, going into the atoms, even to almost like effectively make massive change, like quantum leap type thing. Is that what you're trying to do, or is that what you're aiming for? Because like I said, it's almost like the subconscious mind it's really protected, or it's really the brain, your beliefs, your ideas, how you move forward, how you create, even how you manifest is really protected. But it's almost like you're trying to get to a point, or you're trying to unlock a new aspect. Maybe you're trying to create a certain result, or maybe you're trying to manifest more resources, or take it as it resonates. So I'm going to hop into the extended that is going to be the first link in the description below. If you do resonate, then you may check it out, and if not, I will catch you in the next story. Peace.